Hi guys, my name's Chris and I'm here based in the city of Plymouth. This is going to be the first video of many as I'm going to be blogging some of my fishing sessions, hoping to catch some big old conger eels. Plymouth is home to the world record short-caught conger eel, weighing in at around £67 by Martin Larkin, which is an absolute monster, and it was caught off Devil's Point, I think, 1992. Although I've had some decent eels up to around £25, I've never had a £30, let alone anything bigger. So this channel is going to be the quest for something a bit decent, hopefully, hence Conger Quest. The plan was to get out straight away and start fishing tonight, but I've got work early in the morning, so tonight I'm just going to have to talk you through my setup, what I'm going to be fishing with, and then hopefully later on there'll be a couple of videos where we can get out on some of the marks and hunt for that monster. And I thought I'd do it against a fishy background today as well. I couldn't think of anything else to record it in front of, so I thought if you get bored of me yattering on anyway, you could watch the goldfish. Firstly, the rod. It has no name, the rod with no name. It's 2-piece. I'd love to know how much it was actually paid for. It was probably worth quite a lot in the day because it's actually seen some action and stood up to the action. So it casts around £8. £8? Yeah, £8. Yeah, it casts around £8. So it's got a good bend in it. It'll do. The main thing is just to have a good, sturdy, thick rod. Just to deal with the lunges that the conger can do. Now, got a Daiwa Slosh 30 here. I think that's the Slosh 30 yet. And I fitted this with £25 line. Some people may say it's slightly too thin for congering, but when I'm doing my conger sessions, I'm kind of scratching around as well. I'm trying to find anything that's out there on at least one of the rods. There's no point in me putting two big half a mackerels out, waiting for about 10 hours and catching nothing. So this one's here just in case. I put that normally on a pennel rig, which I can show you later as well. Pennel pulley, you know, just lob it out there and just hopefully just for something else. Normally the conger are right under your feet, so you don't need to lob out too far. But anyway, that's my first reel, and I'll use that on this rod, maybe possibly a lighter one. Also, this is the heavy one. This is the one that does the job. This is a old school Penn 535. It's the bigger version. There's a slightly smaller one which is probably the same size as the Daiwa 525. This was given to me as well, and it really hasn't let me down. I've landed some decent conger on this one on boat rods back in the day as well. Put up such a good fight on a boat rod, you won't believe it. From the shore, you hook in, no bend in that rod. It's just thudding. Anyway, £30 on that, £30 line. This is for lobbing in close. Try and do a big old pendulum cast on that, it'll just bird's nest you up massively. Anyway, so those are the two reels as well, and I'd pair that up with a similar rod. I'll also either use a long shock leader if I'm casting the distance, or a short rubbing leader just for when I'm down in amongst the rocks, which some people might forget to do. Using heavier line is definitely the way to go. This is ASSO, £70, and what I'd do there, if I was just lobbing in close, I'd take roughly about, I don't know, maybe a foot or two, spider hitch knot, which is another thing that I can show you and hopefully in some other videos. Spider hitch knot, that's going to stop you snagging up on the bottom so much because it's thicker line, it's abrasion resistant. You've got some stronger line there. Also with the 70, bit touch and go, but you could use it for a trace line if you were going scratching around for other stuff as well. Doggies, I've had doggies actually bite through this. I've caught 3 or 4 on the trot clean through 70. So you've got to keep thinking. You don't want to be losing any fish. And also because we are taking it very serious, you need logs of everything you've caught, moon tides, phases. It's just going to help you. You don't want to be going out on a tiny small neap tide when the mark that you're fishing fishes on a big spring on a low. something like that. So, but you know, you need all this. This one's full. This is about 2 years worth. Knowledge. Gaff. Never had to use it yet, not once. Always managed to be able to get the conger in on the shock leader, on the rubbing leader, which is another good thing. You can get your hand around that 70-pound, hoik it up. Conger Quest. If we get a monster, you never know. Might be able to just nick it under the chin. When you're using these gaffs, this is the only reason that I haven't used it. I've always tried getting them out by hand because it can damage the conger, and we're not planning to eat them. We're not planning to kill them in any way. We're putting everything back. I don't want to be eating anything out of the tamer really, and it's just for the fight. They are so strong. If you've hooked into a big conger, you know about it. I've caught a few fish, and the one that puts up the most fight, if you get a big one on, is a conger eel. Anyway, that's the end of this video. That's my basic setup with the reels, with some of the lines. At a later date we'll go into some of the rigs that I use, and then next video hopefully we'll be getting out on one of the marks, doing some fishing and getting work out the way. That's the plan. 12-hour shifts, get that shit out the way, and then you can go fishing for the rest of the time. But yeah, really hope you have a good one, guys. Hope you're going to enjoy this series. I'm not saying I'm going to catch anything, but you never know. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.